Hello, I'm Dorian. This is Ashley.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk about the accessories you should get rid of now.
These types of videos are my absolute favorite.
These are your favorites for sure.
I know. I love getting rid of stuff. It's like the most
cathartic
feeling ever. Accessories, just like your clothes, sometimes they're in style, sometimes they're out of style. So it's really important to always clean out your closet so that you don't have a bunch of crap that you'll never touch again in there, which then just confuses you when you get in the morning and
confuses you.
Yeah, and potentially could.
You like get in there, you're just like. So Ash, the first one out the gate is what?
Bracelets. Okay, so definitely what's out is anything that is like a really thick leather braided bracelet, or it doesn't even have to be braided, but anything wide, you want to get rid of, okay? It's all about thinner looking, more delicate looking bracelets. So whether that's cuffs, braided leather, or even beading, I would say, beaded bracelets. You want it to be on a smaller scale, so that, because the wider, when it's a little chunkier, it just looks really sloppy and it looks like very amateur-y. Like you bought it for like $1 and you just like put it on there because you thought it would look cool, and it really doesn't look cool. It actually just looks super dated and like you're out of touch. You'll want it to be a little bit, maybe I would say somewhere around 1/4 of an inch wide,
okay.
but not any wider than that. Don't do 1/2 inch, thick, wide bracelet.
But then 2 inches, we're in the clear no matter what. You know, like those super big, like chunky.
Oh my gosh, a 2-inch wide bracelet.
Those Wonder Woman bracelets, you click them together. All right, moving on. Number 2 is what?
Wide ties. So if you own a wide, especially a really wide tie.
What does that mean exactly, measurement wise?
Right, so I'll tell you. If you are a skinny to regular build, your tie should be around, I would say, 1.5 to 2 inches. And if you are a bigger guy, a broader guy, you'll probably want to wear a tie around 2.5 to 3 inches. That's usually the sweet spot. Now, if you have any wide ties outside of this, then get rid of it. Wide ties can make someone that shouldn't be wearing them look even skinnier and scrawnier than they are. It's not a good look whatsoever. It looks very frumpy, and people are gonna look at you, especially your work colleagues, and not have confidence in your abilities because of how your look is like very dated.
And that's it. Okay. Done. No wide ties. Ash, so the next one is belts, but specifically large, really wide belts, and or belts with big chunky buckles on them, or buckles.
Or like the seat belt buckles, like almost like it's like a rectangular metal buckle.
Okay.
If you have those, get rid of them.
Buckles that have the Gucci, Ferragamo, Hermes logos on them, or the H, like it's just like, ugh.
Now, belts can be very distracting. The buckle itself is very distracting, so you want to make sure that it's as minimal looking as possible. Like, they're good to add another visual element to your outfit, but it's really important to make sure that belt buckle isn't obnoxious. You want it to almost disappear if you can help it. And make sure you're not wearing a super wide belt. 1.5 inches is kind of like max. I would keep it somewhere between maybe like 1 inch, 1.25 inches, but anything wider than 1.5 inches looks obnoxiously big. Keep it minimal. And keep it streamlined. Black and dark brown are always never fail, will always work with the rest of your wardrobe.
And what about contrasting stitching?
Oh yes, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. Make sure the stitching matches the color of the belt. Contrasting stitching is gross. It's just gross. It is, again, streamline it, make it look very minimal. That's the goal with your belts.
And the next one, Ash, is lapel pins or flowers. They had their moment. It was great. Now you can wear them, I think, if you want to go with like that really classic dandy look, but then now it's kind of, you're really towing that line of costumey a little bit. It can go and no one's going to look at you any differently and be like, oh, it's missing something. So definitely get rid of those. And Ash, while we're kind of on the chest region accessory topics, you had a great one that you wanted to discuss with the audience. What is it?
Yes, you need to get rid of, if you have this, which hopefully you don't, any tie bar that is super wide. Okay, so given that you now know the proper tie width you should be wearing. If your tie bar goes all the way across the tie or
exceeds the length,
exceeds the width of your tie,
yeah.
Throw it away. Just throw it away. Please, whatever you do, throw it away. For most men, the tie bar should be no more than about 2 inches. And if you have anything wider than that, then you better be someone with like a 44 chest or bigger.
Better be like a linebacker, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
So most men, it should be about 1.5 inches if you're slim to regular build. And if you're a bigger guy, then around 2 inches is actually 2 inch is the max that you want to go. So anything outside of that, anything wider than that, please get rid of it. Throw it away.
And the next one, Ash, is colored shoelaces. I've seen these on sneakers, and I've also seen them a lot on dress shoes as well.
And dress boots.
Yeah, dress boots as well.
Yep.
So what do you think they should go?
I think they should go in
That's
the
why
trash.
They're here.
I think a lot of men want to add like a little punch to their outfits, and they're like, oh, well, a shoelace, that's a small little thing, And it's just one step too far. More often than not, it goes wrong. And, yes, it's not to say that they're always terrible, because sometimes
there's an exception.
There's an exception,
sure.
But more often than not, it looks terrible. And so just really what I recommend doing is concentrate on making sure that the fit of your clothes is spot on, and that everything goes together and you have essential items, and you are not going to need any longer a colorful shoelace to like punch it out.
Well,
you know what I mean?
If I can play devil's advocate for a minute, I think that the guys that like the little extra flair of the shoelaces and stuff like that, they want to show their personality. But from what I'm gathering from what you're saying is you can show your personality in other ways that isn't so like in your face, like, haha, look, see, that's different. That's because I'm different.
Yeah.
So
you can show your personality with ties, pocket squares, socks. Even socks.
Yeah,
like
you're a big fan of like really bright, like go
love
crazy on the
colorful,
socks.
fun printed socks.
Yeah.
So there are other ways to show your personality rather than being like, bam, like I'm just gonna throw it in your face. And that's what you're doing with your shoelace.
Ash, and we're down to the final one, right?
Yes, but before we reveal that, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channels for more
Channels, do all of them, all one of them.
Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and hit that bell icon to be notified every time we upload a video.
All right, so Ash, the final one is what?
Chunky metal rings.
So they need to get rid of them.
Ugh. Gosh, I hate it when I see men wearing just really big, obnoxious rings and multiple rings.
So you're just talking about the size. That's not to say they shouldn't ever wear rings.
No, so I love like a good like band style, or even like just a smaller delicate, like signet rings are really good as well. But you want to keep it more on the delicate side, on the, it just can't be, you just don't want it to be a monster on your finger.
Unless there's a very specific reason you're wearing it, like it's a signet ring or like you won a World Series or, things like that, then make sure that your jewelry, like everything else for your accessories, is a little more understated, because the details are what makes the whole. And if all the details are big, then it just blows everything up for you, right?
Yes, and no more than one ring. I mean, if you really know what you're doing, 2 rings, but that's it. That's it. For most men, for their everyday life, keep it to either the middle finger, your index finger, and every once in a while you can actually do your pinky ring if you know what you're doing.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Throw those accessories out if you've got them. She's going to come and she's going to be real pissed.
I will hunt you down.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.